Okay, so let's journey into the rolling hills of Meghalaya, to a city where the mist, honestly, it feels like it carries whispers of the past. This is Shillong, a place where history and myth are just woven together so tightly.
Now, you've probably heard its famous nickname, right? Scotland of the East. But that's just the cover of a much, much deeper story. So we're going to peel back the layers of Shillong's real identity. And we'll uncover everything from ancient deities and colonial architects to, you guessed it, a few rock and roll rebels.
So let's start with that nickname. Where in the world did Scotland of the East even come from? Well, you might be surprised to hear that the story actually begins not with the landscape, but with the weather.
Picture this. It's the 19th century, and British administrators are just desperate to escape the sweltering heat of the Indian plains. And when they finally arrive in these hills, the cool air, the rolling terrain, it all felt so much like the Scottish Highlands. So the name wasn't just descriptive, it was really born from a mix of colonial nostalgia and, frankly, just sheer relief from the heat.
But they did way more than just give it a catchy nickname. The British completely reshaped this landscape, turning what was a cluster of Khasi villages into a really strategic administrative capital. You can actually see its rise to power right here. First, in 1864, the British moved their headquarters here from super rain-soaked Cherrapunji. Just a decade later, bam, it's the capital of the entire Assam province. And this role as a center of power, it continued for nearly a century, eventually leading to it becoming the capital of the new state of Meghalaya in 1972. It's this long history as an administrative hub that really left such a visible mark on the city.
And you know, the British didn't just work here, they played here too. The Shillong Golf Course, founded way back in 1898, is a perfect example of them recreating their lifestyle. I mean, this wasn't just some sports facility. It was like a little piece of Scotland was transplanted right into the Khasi Hills. So much so that it earned its own grand nickname, the Gleneagles of the East.
Their spiritual life also took root right here. The All Saints Cathedral, with its beautiful wooden structure and stained glass windows, really stands as a testament to the missionary work and the architectural styles that came along with colonial rule. And of course, you had the seat of power itself, the Raj Bhavan. This was originally the home of the Chief Commissioner of Assam, and it was built to project authority, to project grandeur. Its whole stately presence is a direct reflection of the British Empire's administrative might.
But here's the thing. Long before the British ever laid the first stone of their capital, these hills already had a name, they already had a spirit, and they had a deep history. So, let's peel back that colonial layer.
The city's name, Shillong, it actually has nothing to do with the British. Nope, it comes from a much, much older source, Shillong, who is a powerful guardian deity for the indigenous Khasi people. The legend says this spirit lives on Shillong Peak, watching over the land. So the name itself is a tribute to the city's original sacred protector. And this connection to the land, it's just so deeply spiritual. You know, there's a local saying that the mist that blankets Shillong isn't just weather. It's the breath of the hills carrying whispers of ancestors. It's this physical manifestation of the region's ancient soul, a reminder that this land has stories that are way older than its colonial chapter.
So what happens when these two completely different worlds, the ancient Khasi and the modern British, actually collide? Well, a really unique culture starts to form, and it was shaped not just by people, but by a powerful, powerful force of nature.
On June 12, 1897, everything, and I mean everything, changed. A massive earthquake, a magnitude 8.7, just ripped through the region. All those heavy stone buildings from the early colonial period, almost completely destroyed. It was an absolute tragedy that would, unexpectedly, forge a key part of Shillong's identity.
But you know, real innovation rose from the rubble. To rebuild, people developed this brand new earthquake-resistant style of architecture, the Assam-type house. And you can see how it works. A light wood frame for flexibility, walls made of woven bamboo plastered with lime, and these high, sloping metal roofs. This practical solution, born from disaster, created the charming, distinct look that still defines so much of Shillong today.
Now, this amazing blend of influences, Khasi traditions, British culture, local innovation, it created the perfect fertile ground for something totally new to grow. And in the 20th century, Shillong forged a completely new identity, one built on rhythm and, yeah, a little bit of rebellion.
In Shillong, music is it's in the air. But it's so much more than performance. It taps right into that ancient Khasi tradition of storytelling, where songs carry the history and the wisdom of the people.
And it was this foundation that made the city so uniquely receptive to new kinds of music.
And this musical evolution, it has really deep roots. It all started with the British bringing in gospel and choir music, which fostered this love for Western harmonies. And that little seed just grew into a full-blown rock scene, producing legends like Lou Majau, Shillong's very own Bob Dylan. Today, that legacy is carried on by the world-famous Shillong Chamber Choir and by major music festivals that draw crowds from all over.
So you see, Shillong is not a city that's stuck in the past. It's a place where every single layer of its history, the mythical, the colonial, and the modern, is alive and visible on its streets today.
Just take Imwa, for example. It's the city's oldest and largest market. For centuries, it has been the pulsating heart of Khasi commerce. And yeah, while it's definitely evolved, its spirit of trade and community is totally unchanged. It's like a living bridge connecting the ancient past to the bustling present.
So in the end, Shillong isn't just the Scotland of the East. It's so much more. It's a living museum. It's a city where a powerful indigenous culture met colonial ambition, survived a natural disaster, and then birthed a rock and roll soul. Every single one of these layers contributes to the unique, vibrant identity of the city we see today.
Shillong's story is such a powerful reminder that every place, no matter how familiar it might seem, is built on these incredible layers of history, myth, and change. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? The next time you walk down a familiar street, what stories are hiding right under your feet?